Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea to the end of the most original summer. I think I can editorialize and say for each and every American, for all of you around the world, it has been absolutely exhausting day by day, whatever your politics, whatever your beliefs, whatever your investment walk in life, it has been extraordinary. A major shout out to the surveillance team who got me through it and got all of us through it. And we're steeled and ready to get into the end of the third quarter, maybe a government shutdown, I think in October sometime, and on to Q4. It's an adventure each and every day. It's good to start strong with a brief from Win Thin. He is of Burma. He is definitive PhD from Columbia under Robert Wendell, iconic at Brown Brothers Harriman, and he's taking on new challenges for the Bank of Nassau in the Bahamas. Win Thin on the Pacific Rim and international economics.
Damon, you're a long-time EM guy, so we've seen this, we've been there, done this. It never ends well. Turkey's tried to do this. It had finally reversed course. You mentioned Argentina.
That's right.
I've lost count. I can't, lost count of how many examples. So there's been plenty of studies
to show for it.
There's pretty much show that you graph independence, degrees of independence versus inflation. It's totally correlated. Right. We all know about the law of unintended consequences. We can go down the list: the immigration, the tariffs. Russia, they're
just yield right
so
now,
many
Dave.
things that can go wrong, and the more sort of risks that pile up, the more I think the tail gets fatter and fatter, and I do worry about that.
Win Thin there on the quantitative finance on it. The tails are, take a bell curve of your high school class height. There's a median number. Out at the tips of the shortest people, out at the tips of the tallest people, there's a tail. And under stress, those tails, they get thicker, if you will. They get thicker, they get higher, if you will. And that's what Win Thin was talking about there, the risks into Q3 and Q4. Did a lot of economics today, each and every person with a different opinion. Frances Donald came in with a really interesting weaker GDP, but also somewhat tepid inflation as well. She gets an animal spirit, decent nominal GDP, but it's a complex mix. Here, Frances Donald.
We have what we call a stagflation light type of outlook, which is growth that is uncomfortably low but not collapsing. So that's between 1% and 2%, Tom. The problem is the inflation side of this picture, which is that we continue to see above 2% inflation, and getting as high in the next 6 months as 3.4 on both the CPI and the PCI number. So you're seeing this phenomenal tension in the U.S. economy, and what worries me about it is that it's not particularly aggressive. It's not pandemic level inflation that calls for a very clear policy response. It's a very nefarious, uncomfortable, muddle through type of environment. And this, I think, is going to continue to dominate a lot of the conversations and make it difficult to say we're early, mid, or late cycle. When you say it's difficult to see, what I hear is that this way of thinking about the economy as being in a business cycle is getting substantially distorted by tariffs, by inequalities, by government spending, and so reading that story is more difficult.
Frances Donald of RBC Capital Markets. Indeed, as she says, it is mysterious. We are steeled and ready to have good conversations for you into September and on to the end of 2025. On podcasts, we're on Apple, on Spotify, and on YouTube podcasts. It's Single Best Idea.